with my wife, I kind of do something silly that I call the program. And the program works like this. A while ago, I had this moment of lying in bed at night, wanting to have some quality time with my wife, and finding that she's just exhausted and distracted by things that were on her list to get done that day that didn't get done. And if those things don't get done, then there's no time and there's no energy for Toby.
Right.
And so I just decided, hey, I'm going to make a list of all the things that I think are likely to be on my wife's list today. Like, what are the things I see around the house? What are the things I see, whether it's the checkbook or it's the bathroom floors, the things that tonight, if they're not done, are going to keep her from being able to invest in us. And then I would carve out time and knock those things out and accomplish those tasks. And what I've discovered is when I'm consistent in doing that, then she's not as tired at the end of the day. Those things that would have still been left on her to-do list, keeping her up late, are done. And magically, then there's this opportunity for me to have some quality alone time with my wife, which I really, really desire. And so there's a selfishness to that, and that, like, hey, I want to have some fun with my wife, but I think God uses that in ways that are really powerful and good for her and for us in our relationship, because that time to enjoy one another is really important, and it's hard to come by.
You had to step up and say, okay, I see it now, I need to do this, right? And so it's like this intentional action that you're doing, not just once, but sort of on a regular basis. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, and I would say, it started very selfishly of like, I just want my wife to have some time and energy to be able to be with me and experience some physical intimacy as well as relational intimacy. But as a guy, I'm definitely more interested in the physical intimacy most of the time. But from that motivation, yeah, my heart has gotten to see how important it is to my wife and what a gift it is to her to have things taken care of that would typically have fallen on her shoulders. And so in that way, yeah, it has definitely become this way to serve her. And no coincidence that, biblically we're told over and over again as men that we need to love our wives as Christ loved the church, to die to ourselves and die to them. And deciding that I'm going to scrub a toilet, deciding that I'm going to put dishes away, deciding that I'm going to mop floors when I absolutely hate the smell of bleach, at the end of the day is an act of service that I can perform that impacts her life beyond just what it may lead to later in the evening for the two of us.
That's a really challenging passage, to love our wives as Christ loved the church. And it's like, what's that look like in real life? It's all good and fine. You can, these all theoretical things are wonderful. And yet, what's that really look like when I go home from church and, it's Wednesday, and what's it look like? And I think that's a great way, man. Sometimes it's scrubbing the toilet. Sometimes it's mopping the floors.